can't share or no gold prices.
YouTube.
Jesus. That was.
Welcome to the Prospectors Radio Show, the talk show for our community. Please welcome Rich Cooley, Indiana gold hunter Dennis Dayton, Kathleen Biffle, and your host, Tim Grimes.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of Prospector Radio. I'm your host, Tim Grimes, and joining me tonight, as always, we got Rich Cooley's here, Scott Swiftwater, Toney, the Indiana gold hunter Dennis Dayton, and we're joined by a very special guest tonight, Mr. Kevin Hoagland's in the house. What's going on, guys?
Not much.
Say, don't everybody answer at once.
Wow. That was.
Finding gold and wrecking four-wheelers.
Well, that's a typical Scott week, right?
It's been a bad one.
Right? Life of a miner, Scott.
Pretty much.
Well, this is the scoop. Yeah, everybody's seen the pictures I posted on Facebook. Now that was my third test hole down on my claim, and that was a half pan of dirt that I got that gold out of.
Right.
Now my dry washer and everything's down there set up, and I come back to town the next day, and there was somebody that was stuck down on the road when I went down early in the morning. When I come back about 8 o'clock, they're still stuck on the road. So I went to get them some water, and on the way back, one of the waters kind of slid off where my feet were, where I had it held at. So I leaned down to put it back up. And when I come back to look, my front right wheel was already in the water ditch. So we call it here in Arizona. It sucked me in and threw me against a cliff. So it damaged my horse. I had to take it in and get it fixed. And they still haven't called me with an estimate. And then, like I said, I'm planning on going down tomorrow, just walking down there. And now we got rain showers coming in. So, wow. It's been one of those.
Going to get soaking wet.
Well, my dry washer, it's a Keen. It don't matter if it gets wet. I just run it for about 4 minutes. It's good to go.
Okay. Life in Scott.
It's not going to rain. I don't know. I don't know why you're thinking it's going to rain.
He's seen clouds.
Wait a
Well,
minute.
I'm looking at a lot of clouds. I walked outside just a few minutes ago,
What?
and there was a lot of clouds.
That's what. See,
Look back behind me here.
there's clouds.
Yeah, that's
pretty,
that's pretty much what I'm looking out at my back door. And I will tell you guys, if it does start raining, I'm going to bail out and just go stand in it because we haven't had any rain this year.
right.
All right. As long as you take the camera with you.
Okay.
Right now, Hoagland, it looks like most of it's over the Toney National Forest over there, but we do, looking back over this way, like around Wickenburg and up towards Prescott, it's pretty dark up there too. And I got a lot of thunder around us. So
Yeah.
How far away, Kevin, how far away from Scott are you?
I don't even know where Scott is right now.
Not
Where
far
are you,
enough.
Scott?
Black Canyon City.
40 miles. I'm in Wickenburg.
Jeez. Oh, you're not far at all from him.
No.
Oh, so
30
Scott
miles.
is the same clouds he sees.
Yeah, he's not special. We don't have separate
I
clouds.
thought Scott might have.
We're all looking at the same one.
Well, you know, in Scott's mind, it's been.
Hey, I'm looking over towards the Toney National Forest. That's farther than he can see from Wickenburg.
Dude, I live in a canyon here. I see up, and that's really about it. It's weird. It's weird living in a canyon. It really is kind of strange.
You never know when something's going to come.
Yeah, I've pulled out. I took off of my my UTV a few weeks ago and pulled up and got up to the top, and the wind had been blowing and torn up palm trees and a bunch of other stuff. And
Good.
I didn't even know that it was been windy down at my place.
Must be cool being in a canyon.
It is kind of cool being in
It
the
would be
canyon.
kind of cool to live in a canyon.
Not a big canyon. It's just a
They
little
call it-
canyon.
They call it Kevin's Canyon.
Kevin's Canyon. Oh, I'll rename the street and see if I can get away with it.
Yeah, see if you can name the street Kevin's Canyon Drive or something.
No, really. They'll probably call it Hoagland Lane.
It's actually called Desert Canyon. So, hey, it works.
Oh.
I like it.
You could change it to
Now
Kevin.
that I've just told everybody where I live.
Yeah, right. You don't want to give them the house address.
No.
We pretty much narrowed that down.
Yep.
Good one, Kevin. You did it.
Yeah. Oh,
So
well.
what's happening, Kevin?
Everything, man. I mean, other than the fact that it's just way too hot to get out and do some of the things that I would like to do, except for about 4 o'clock in the morning, which I have been. I've been working with a couple of new detectors that I've been playing with, and nothing special. They're not new. They've been around for a while. They're just new to me.
New to you.
I picked up. I'm actually doing a field test on a new gold pan that was created by the guys at XP, and it's a Batea pan, which is phenomenal because like Batea has been used all around the world for centuries. They've just never been used in the North America.
Okay.
And when I found out that XP was coming out with one, I had talked to a couple of their people, and they said, you know what, we're going to let you do a test on it. So
what's it called again, Kevin?
It's a Batea. A Batea. It's and Scott, you've seen them because they're used all around the world. It's just a big cone. It's a big cone pan. You know what?
Vogus has a lot of videos on his Batea pans. He's been using them and bragging about them a lot.
Who has?
Vogus.
Oh.
Out of Australia.
Yeah. You guys talk amongst yourself. I'll go grab one real quick so you can see what it looks like.
We can see one.
Yeah, he's been using them on a lot of his videos and swears by them.
I think they use them in like is it Africa or some of the places like that? Is that the real big ones that has like a cone and they swirl it around in them? I think they're just like flat pans, but they're like cone shaped.
Yeah,
that's the one. I'm not sure.
I was going to say, it sounded like he was talking about what they call a Shiraka pan or something like a Shiraka. I can't remember, but.
Oh, a Saruka?
Yes.
Is that how they say that, Dennis?
Yeah, Saruka. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. But then he said it's cone shaped. I was like, well, maybe not. So.
Oh, Saruka?
Yeah. Oh, now I have never seen one of those.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's the one, like you were saying, Rich, like a cone shape.
Yeah, I think it was Africa or something. They had like metal ones or copper ones or something like that.
I have seen the very first one that I ever used was years ago when I was down in South America.
Okay.
And I had taken a bunch of Garrett pans with me to use as trade material and stuff like that. Well, these, those guys down there and all around the world, they take trees, like an old a stump, a big stump, and they cut off a slab and then they hand carve. They just kind of hand carve into this thing.
Right.
And the very first one I ever used had been made like a day earlier, and it was made out of a chunk of just big wood. And the guy sat there and he whittled it out and cleaned it all out, and just used his hand tools and handed it to me. And I tell you, I fell in love with them, but they haven't really been available. And I gave those guys, I gave 2 or 3 of those guys some Garrett pans. And it was so funny because when I came back about 3 or 4 days later, the Garrett pans were up on the bank and they were back to using their big old wood Bateas and things like that. And I think about 2 or 3 years ago, somebody started making them out of aluminum or out of steel. There's a company, I believe, out of Canada that's making them out of steel. But to have a plastic one, because this thing thrills me because it's half the weight.
Yeah, it's a big pan.
Yeah, it's got this big honeycomb grip. Let me see.
Right.
Got this big honeycomb grip on the back, so it makes it easier to work. And you work this thing differently. You just get it going in a fast motion, like you're not a fast motion, but a good motion like that. And as the lightweight material comes up, it just takes the lights right up to the top, and then they just fly out all the way around. So
I was wondering if you worked it in a circular motion with the water.
Yeah, you'll go back and forth to get everything started to settle, and it's kind of a back and forth and a circular motion at the same time. Is the way that those guys, that the Tikas, that the prospectors down there taught me how to use it. And what makes this one unique is it's not just this. Now this is just the standard Batea, but there's also an attachment to where you drill 3 holes in it, and there's this unit that comes up over on the top. That's called a defragmenter, is what they call it, and it just destroys the material. It destroys everything that you've got in there. So little bits of clay, different things like that. It just breaks it down. You know, it's not gonna be a pan for everybody. I mean, it's 20 inches. Yeah, it's a 20 inch
matches your
pan.
shirt too.
Yeah, so that gives you a perspective. You know, it covers my
It's a big
shoulders.
pan.
Yeah,
it
is
huge.
yeah.
Kind of like the little gold spinner, you know, same motion where it goes round and round. And
Yeah, it uses a. You know what? That's a great analogy, Dennis. Because if you take something like this, and as you're getting that movement, and it takes a while, it's not going to be instantaneous, but as you start getting that motion in, it's like a centrifuge. So you're lifting that lightweight material up, and it's just coming up, and you know, you can watch it. You can watch the black sands when you're working it just right, which I'm going to have to relearn how to do that. You get to that thunder, lightning.
Yeah. It's sprinkling on us now.
Really? Yeah.
And then we just heard sirens going up to 17. So I hope it ain't a lightning strike.
Oh, great. So, yeah, there's that. And then, well, the detector, quite frankly, I've been so busy doing so many other things. I've kind of been out of playing with detectors, and I absolutely completely missed the launch of the XP, the ORX, and they've come out with a new high frequency coil for that machine. So playing around with that thing, I mean, the total, how familiar are you guys with XP with their detectors?
Not. But tell us anyway.
I'm going to get up again.
All right, get up again, Kevin. This is like show and tell.
Yeah, that was a pretty odd pan, wasn't it? That was pretty different.
Yeah,
like,
I love
I've
this.
seen him where he's said before, but
I'd like to try one.
All right, so there's the detector.
Oh, that's the detector?
Yep. Notice any wires?
Nope.
Wait a minute. His picture went off. I couldn't see.
See any wires?
No, none.
The control box for everything, all the electronics are in the coil.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yep. You charge it right here.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, you guys got a lot. I've got a lot of my new lighting's giving me problems, but there's where you charge it. So you put that on. Basically, electronics are in there, and there's your control module.
Boy.
So the coil is the metal detector itself.
The coil is the metal detector.
Now,
And
is
then
it waterproof as well?
Yep, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah. And with this thing, and guys, when the Deus came out, and I'm going to be a little critical, when the Deus came out, I didn't like it. I mean, I had one of the first Deuses that came in the United States, and it just didn't do what I wanted it to do.
Right.
And this thing so far, and so far it's only been air testing and then in the test bed. This thing's doing really well. But it hasn't been out. It hasn't been out and gotten scuffed up and been out in the dirt. And
I like that one. That one's cool.
yeah, it is very cool.
What's going to be the rough price range on it?
Well, it's been out for a couple of years, Scott. It is that whole thing with this new high frequency coil, and the way this thing works, you've got two different modes. And I got to tell you this before I give you the price. You've got just the standard mode, which is just the gold. And then you've got the fine gold, because as we all know, the higher the frequency, the closer to the surface it goes to find, works to find small pieces, lower the frequency, deeper in the ground, more conductive targets. All right. So it's got a standard gold mode, which uses fairly low frequencies. And then when you go into the fine gold, it goes all the way up to 80 kilohertz. Wow. So this thing goes from way down here to way the heck up here. And all of that for, well, what I paid, $748.
Okay.
That's still pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, that's really good. I'll let you know how it performs later, but I mean, I haven't gotten out in the field. I haven't really It's doing well in the test garden, but until I get out on one of my old patches,
Right.
But I love this because it's you can use it for the
cool.
audio. Pardon?
That's cool.
And this is the coolest thing about it. If I got the speaker on, I just drop it in there.
That's pretty neat. Yeah.
If I want to use my wireless, I just throw this in the pocket, put on my wireless, and go, and that's it. So
how much does it weigh, Kevin? It looks like it weighs nothing, practically.
it's nothing. I mean, this is. Let me see.
Pound and a half, 2 pounds.
I mean, there's no
nothing to it.
There's really no weight on me whatsoever. 2.5, 2.9.
Wow.
Maybe somewhere in that area.
I like that one.
Yeah. Well, see how it does out in the field, man.
Yeah.
Because I won't use it. I won't use it if it don't work. So
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That one's I like that one.
Yeah.
So what other one have you been testing? That the only one?
That's it. That's all. That's not touching anything else. Nope.
Hey,
not a thing. Nope.
Hey,
nothing.
Kevin, have you found out it's a pretty amazing at 5 o'clock in the morning what you can see out in the desert?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I've been getting up the days that I'm going out. I've been getting up about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and driving the neighbors crazy when I pull the Ranger out of the driveway and just head out into the desert. But yeah, I just, man, I'll tell you what, I have been in this desert for so many years. The greatest part of it is watching the sun come up.
Sure. It would be. Kevin, what was that detector called again?
It's the XP-ORX.
Okay.
Yeah. And I believe the retail price on it's like $748, something like that. I don't think I got a deal.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I was curious if you could say that one more time, what it was.
I was going to say, there's a lot of great detectors between the prices of 6 and 9.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That seems like the price range, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
For something that's works.
It's become the range.
Yeah. It does seem like it.
Yeah.
I had an
And
old
with
timer,
everything-
Kevin, tell me that if he goes, when you buy a metal detector, it's $100 per inch.
Oh my God, here we go. I know that crazy son of a that started that rumor, and he was basically weather locked in I think it was Wisconsin, if I remember right. During the wintertime, the guy was going stir crazy, and he got on a forum and made it sound very, very official and the whole 9 yards. And I met him at a gold show, and he showed me his original writing of how he wrote everything out, and it was like, oh, okay, you're the guy that did it. And he's like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. He apologized, but he didn't really apologize.
Gotcha.
But for anybody who's listening, that $100 an inch, take it from me, is not true. I've seen, look, that 27-ounce piece that I pulled it out with at the time, a $799 detector, and it was 24 inches deep.
Wow.
So that doesn't work.
Right.
That math doesn't work. It's all about how you set your machine up. I've seen $300-$400 machines that are pulling targets out of parks at 16, 18 inches. So,
it's knowing your machine.
Yeah, it's just knowing your machine. You got to make friends with your machine, and you just got to know what you're doing.
What was the other detector you was talking about?
I wasn't talking about any other detector. No, I'm not talking. Like, holy crap! If I move my camera, I'm in trouble.
What is it, like a wall? The detector wall of.
He's probably got
I
like
think
12
there's
of them back there.
I think there's a ghost detector over there that he didn't want us to see.
No. I'm looking at some different things, but I'm really not. I don't have anything in my hand right now. Now, sitting on the wall is the 7000, the Gold Bug 2, the Equinox, the GMX Sport, which it's a shame that White's is. I don't even want to get into that conversation.
Yeah.
And then no, I probably will before it's all said and done.
Okay.
And then the gold monster in my 2300, and then on that wall over there, there's a couple of others. But
How do you like that Go Monster?
oh, dude, I love it. I mean, I wrote that original field test on that machine, and anybody that read it would know that I was very, very critical. I did not like that machine when it first came out, and I was very critical because being a guy that's been detecting for 40, oh my God, now 40, oh shit, pardon me, 50 years, being a guy that's been swinging the detector now for 50 years, I didn't have control. I could not make that machine do what I felt it had to do. I had to have that threshold. I had to be able to super tune my sensitivity. So I did a lot of work on working with that machine to make it do some things that, quite frankly, I should have just left it alone. And I got a little feedback. I got a little feedback from a couple of the engineers. They're like, do me a favor, go out and try this. And I went out, and after I'd found my first 70 pieces of gold with it, unbeknownst to Mind Lab or anybody else, I wrote a complete article, a secondary article that just started out. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And when I'm stupid, I'm stupid. And in this case, I'm both.
Wow.
Yeah. I love that machine. Now, I still love machines where I have complete and total control. Like, like this thing,
Mm-hmm.
I can do things with the sensitivity. I can do things with the ground balance. I mean, there's an incredible amount of control that I have. And that's one of the reasons that I've got an old Fisher Gold Bug and a Gold Bug 2 sitting over there, because I have complete and total control.
Well, see, that's an episode, just like the episode where Jeff Williams, Jeff Williams, he's a diehard Gold Bug 2 guy. He always, and he's kind of showcased the Monster 1000 here and there. And in one of his episodes, he had his material at his house sitting on the table, and was bragging on the Gold Bug 2, and he took the Gold Monster just to run over it, and it went nuts, and it picked up gold that his Gold Bug 2 didn't get. And
absolutely.
So now you're seeing more videos with that Gold Monster in his videos. So
right. Well, there is a limitation to an analog machine, and I look at my old Gold Bug. I mean, the Gold Bug came out in 1986. The one that I have is a 1986 Gold Bug. The Gold Bug 2 that I have is the first generation Gold Bug 2. It's all analog. It's analog. And quite frankly, I mean, when Mind Lab came out with the Xterra 70, and that being the first, there was a digital processor in that machine that did some amazing things. And then while I was working with Mind Lab and working for Mind Lab, we started tweaking that and doing some other things. And a lot of us were giving a lot of feedback. And then they came out with the 705, which incorporated a lot of the things that we wanted, that gave us a very, very controlled unit. It was still analog for the majority of it, but there was a digital circuitry in that machine that allowed the coil and the control box to absolutely perfectly match. And that was huge. Back when I was a dealer, whenever I'd sell my Gold Bug demo or my Gold Bug 2 demo, I would order like 20 units at a time. And I would just I'd grab one for my new demo, grab a control box, and go around and put every coil on that machine until I found the very hottest coil for that machine. And then that would become my new demo. And that's what my Gold Bug 2 sitting there in the corner is. It's a matched unit.
You and your detectors.
I know.
Used?
Yeah. I love detecting, but I still, my dry washer is waiting on me to get back out. Of course, as you can tell from the last time I was on, I've been on the COVID diet.
Yeah.
Which means I've gained I've lost that 73 pounds, and I've gained about 30 of it back.
It's the COVID diet. It's the new Jenny Craig.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hold it. Did we all make sure that we're at social distance? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm 6 feet away from.
Yeah, we're good.
Rich. Yeah. We're good. So, man, all right. So let's change, subject. Let's talk about that waterboard thing.
I'm sorry?
The waterboard thing.
Oh, God. California waterboard. All right. So.
Am I back?
You're back.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, we just had lightning and we just had a big old we just had a big old bunch of lightning just took out our internet, and you ain't going to believe this, Ring. Holy cow.
Scott's weather update.
He is an absolute desert dweller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's raining.
I don't know where is Scott from originally?
Open the door.
I don't know.
The heck's going on? Tornado?
I think he just swallowed a bat.
Look outside.
Oh, look at it. It's a little bit of a storm.
I just filled me with a mouthful of dust. Yeah, that's a piece of the roof, hon.
No.
Oh, that's not good, Scott.
You know what? That's what you expect to hear in Texas. Yeah, honey, that's just chunk of the roof right
Look,
there.
guys, look at it.
I think he's originally from Ohio.
Look, it's a tornado.
What?
Can you see that tornado or not?
I see clouds.
No, I think I do see it.
Closer.
Buddy, that's as close as I can get.
Run out there and see.
There's two of them. That was two tornadoes that just went by us.
Let's see them again. Show them to us.
It is.
Is it a tornado?
Nothing. Did you not see me just get my head blowed off?
Yeah, can we see that again in slow motion?
Oh my gosh. There is dust and dirt and everything.
Scott, where are you
believe
from?
that.
Where are you from, Scott? Indiana? Aren't you originally from Indiana?
Yeah.
That's okay.
And I
Ohio.
don't know if you see it. Look over there. Look above that. Look above the mountain. You still see it swirling.
All right.
Look, there goes another one right there.
It's a wet dust devil, dude.
Well, if that's a dust devil, that's the biggest dust devil I've ever seen.
It's a wet one. It's moist.
Right to the yard.
Well, we do have tornadoes here. We do have tornadoes in Arizona.
All right.
Most of them are like Chino Valley and Seligman and places like that up over the ridge. But hey, if Scott wants to live through a tornado tonight, I just want to make sure we got it.
I know. I want to make sure we capture it on video.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Dude, the facial expressions right now is priceless.
I know it, right? Look at
Well, guys, we got, like I said, we got a bunch of dust and everything just went through here. I'm gonna have to sweep this carpet. It looks like a hayfield just come through. My table's got stuff all over it.
All right. It's got instant weather on the lives.
I'm telling you, we don't, like I said, usually we don't get that stuff here.
We interrupt with a special report from Black Canyon City, Arizona, where Scott is living through a tornado. Go ahead, Scott. Take it away.
It's windy. It's windy.
Yeah. What scared me was about halfway through that, I started thinking about the Les Nessman dropping when they dropped turkeys out of the helicopter.
What's with the face, dude?
Hang on a second. I got dirt in my eye. Look, guys.
Put on some glasses, dude.
I have a fire.
Is that a fire?
That is a fire, and it's burning close.
Are you all right, Scott?
Oh, it's too close. Get your stuff on. We got a fire right here.
Stop, drop, and roll. You might want to go check.
No, you guys don't understand. This stuff is really amazingly super dry.
Go check.
It is.
Are you going to jump in your truck and go check it out?
I'm going to get in my truck and go do something.
Go see where it is. Make sure you're safe.
Yeah.
And then come back. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, be
See, now
careful.
the wind's kind of dying.
Are you
Now.
on a well? Are you on a well, or you have or do you have a good long supply of water?
No, I'm on a system that's on a well.
Okay.
But you guys, that
I mean,
fire is like really.
Show us.
It's look, it's like right over the hill.
Yeah, that's right where
So,
the fire trucks were going earlier. Was probably there.
well, that ain't good. I'm telling you. It comes now here. Oh, great! Now I get pelted by big rain. Yeah, the just thing is, it's Tim right now. Black Canyon City and everywhere around here is so extremely dry.
Right.
It's crazy.
Well, hopefully it rains then. If it rains,
Let's start to. I'm just saying.
so
Yeah, I hope it rains too.
go check it out and see what's going on. That way you know you're okay. All right.
Well, I can see where the smoke coming through. There's a valley right now. See that?
Are you all right? Are you safe or not?
Man, it's weird. Oh yeah, let's stand out in the yard when lightning's flashing. That's smart. Oh my goodness. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to
Go check it out.
Kevin's great guest. I'm going to have to get off here.
Go on.
Yeah. When you get back, you said you had a question for me. So
Come back.
about the last week, you said you had a question about something. So when you get
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
let me know.
And I'm sure he'll have a
Stay safe.
trivia question for you too. So
Yeah. We have your trivia question. So go and do it.
All right, I'm just going to make sure everything's cool.
Go on.
All right.
All right, later. Honey, we got stuff all over this floor.
Boy, there's been so many bad things happen if somebody thought that they'd gotten offline.
Yeah. That's what I was waiting on.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that thing on that Zoom meeting where they is a corporate group, and they of course everybody's working at home, and the girl runs into the bathroom and drops her drops trowel and sits down on the toilet in the middle of the meeting. She didn't realize her camera was on. I mean, that was
That's what I'd expect from.
it's still on. It's on Facebook and a few other places.
Was it? Jesus God. All right. Now we can continue. Now that we've had.
Okay. I hope, I really believe, I truly hope that Scott and that everything over there, because we've had no rain. I can't tell you the last time I remember any rain, and I've got a hillside right behind me, and it's just covered in just sage and just desert dirt or desert grass. So if one little spark, man, this thing will burn from here all the way. It'll burn all the way through the canyon.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So we are really, really dry.
You guys need that rain.
We need something. I can't tell you in all the year and the what, almost however many years it's been, decades it's been since I've lived here, that I remember a monsoon season that just didn't happen, and it hasn't happened at all.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. They got all excited last week. They had all the news helicopters up, and they were flying towards this great big haboob that was heading into town, and you could see the rain coming out of it. And about the time that the helicopters got close, it just broke apart. The sky was just absolutely clear right behind it. And there's like 3 or 4 minutes worth of rain, and that was it.
Wow.
So it's getting a little nerve wracking.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Back to the
California Water Boards.
California Water Board.
All right. Well, the backstory is always really simple. 2009, the state decided that it was all about the fish, and then the mercury, and then the toxicity, and then all these different things. Where
Right.
it started out as about being fish and mercury, and in 2009, everybody got pulled out of the water while they had their moratorium, which at this point has just turned into a ban. And I was hanging in there, doing a lot of things. And this was long, this was before AMR existed and some of the other groups that were out there. Back when Jerry Hobbs was still around, and I'd have some long conversations with him, and we were always looking at different aspects. But in 2012, because we hadn't heard anything from the water boards, I had some ideas, but I just backed out. I backed out completely, and just made sure that, like with the GPA, that we were funding programs for like AMR and different things like that that made sense, that would progress not just the dredging thing or the California thing, but also made sense throughout the entire industry.
All right.
That's when we a couple of years ago we did that big funding drive that worked for AMRA, and raised a lot of money for AMRA on that one, and very gladly did all of that, and they've continued to grow, and the fight is still going on. So from 2012 till a few months ago, we really had nothing to work with.
Right.
There wasn't a proposal. There was nothing on the table. It was like, okay, you guys are out of the water. Why? Well, because we don't have anything to work with. They finally brought out this thing, and I'll echo Shannon's words on this one. It was a non-starter. There's nothing about this that's acceptable in any way, shape, or form. When you look at the map, which in our last meeting on the 5th of this month, they have said that they would work on the map and make it more legible to where we can actually see how crappy it is. But pretty much every waterway in the state of California where where mining has ever happened is pretty much off the boards. Well, it's off the boards. And when Shannon was meeting with the water boards at different times and throughout the years, there was always when he met with the group a couple of years ago, they basically told him they were not going to do water studies because their impression was anywhere that historical mining had happened in the state of California, there was mercury.
Right.
Well, they made that assumption. They've just made that assumption that all that's going on. Well, I started working, and Kevin Bell, who you've had on the show, he's also one of the state directors, and probably because he's an old state employee, he worked for a government employee. This is a guy that knows how to research, and he's done an incredible job. And as far as I'm concerned, for what he and I and a few others are working on, would not be where we're at without Kevin and Robert and a couple of others. So Shannon is looking at one aspect, and to me, it's not no. And I've had people ask, are people breaking off? No, it's simply, instead of having one spearhead that runs forward, now it's becoming a 3 and 4 and 5 prong spear going in after that. Shannon is doing a phenomenal job with what he's working on, and he's got some ideas and probably doing some testing right now to disprove the assumptions. But what we started is, after we finally got something, we were able to start formulating questions. And I've asked 6 questions, or actually at this point now 7 questions of the water boards. And we had a meeting on May 28th. It was a public meeting.
Okay.
And I asked 3 questions. And hold on a second. I might actually. So I asked 3 questions, and all I wanted was an answer. So I, just so I could start moving forward with it.
Sure.
And the first question that I asked him was just very simply, how can the California State Water Board create definitions that are inconsistent with the Federal Clean Water Act? Definitions in non-conformance with federal regulations as defined by the agreed MOA between the state of California and the EPA, dated September 22nd, 1989. So basically what this means is, in 1989, the state of California signed a memorandum of agreement, not of understanding, of agreement, that they would follow the Federal Clean Water Act. Okay. So my second question for them was, how can the California State Water Boards create a definition in your proposed order, suction dredge order, that makes suction dredge minor a pollutant requiring an MPDS permit when the Code of Federal Regulations 33.323.2 subsection 2 III states dredge material is considered incidental fallback, which is defined by the Clean Water Act as a non-pollutant.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last part of it is, so we have an MOA that says that they say we're going to follow the Clean Water Act. Then they update the Clean Water Act to do these different things, and they get these proposals in, or they sign it into the Code of Federal Regulations, the CFR. That's it. That's it. That's as far as it goes. And then they turn around and then the last question was, why is the California State Water Boards not recognizing the United States Supreme Court ruling on incidental fallback as entered into the Federal Register effective May 10th, 1999, when the Federal Clean Water Act was revised to include this ruling? Those are the three questions I asked.
Okay.
And I got to ask those publicly. 69 days later, we had another meeting. On the night of the 67th night, or the 9th of the 67th night of the 67th day, I received a response from the California Water Boards, which answered nothing.
Oh.
Not a thing. Look, here's the thing. There's a lot of things that we're looking at. And I'm just going to break this down to the simplicity of this.
Okay.
And I'm looking for definitions, because if I'm wrong, we're wrong. But here's the way that I just see it in a big, broad scope. In 1988, the state of California said, we will follow federal regulations, and they signed an agreement to follow those regulations. Pretty simple. Yep, real simple. They signed a document.
Right.
The Clean Water Act was revised to include the incidental fallback, or the non-pollutant, whatever, dredge and fill, incidental fallback, all, any way you want to look at it. Because when you boil it all down, it's real simple. The federal government recognizes this as incidental fallback. So, and Kevin Bell used a great, and I love this analogy that he used. If I'm sitting in a river and I've got my permits and everything else, and I'm sitting in the river and I've got my big excavator, and I scoop down, and I've got all my permits, and I scoop down into the river, and I take that 1 yard bucket and I bring it up, and we've all seen this in wet material, the stuff that falls off the side of the bucket that goes right back into the river. We've all seen that, right? That's incidental fallback.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not adding a pollutant.
No.
I'm not adding a pollutant. It's already there.
Right.
So now I go out metal detecting, and I'm up on the side of a ridge all day long, and I come down to the river, and all I have to show for the day is a whole bunch of old lead bullets. Got a handful of lead bullets, and I'm mad, and I throw them in the river. Have I introduced a pollutant?
Yeah.
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. So if I take my suction nozzle and I'm in the water and I suck stuff up, it goes across my sluice box, and the lead and any mercury, if there is mercury, any of the lead, any of the shot, all of that stuff gets caught. And then on the other side of it, it drops out. Where have I added a pollutant?
Right.
Where have I added the pollutant that the state of California agreed to with the federal government in 1988, and then was read in 1999 by the Supreme Court of the United States of America?
Right.
I'm sorry. To me, there's three people that have that type of. You've got the Supreme Court of the United States. You've got the United States Attorney General, and then there's some guy named God.
Those three.
Yeah. So, uh, so that's where we're at right now. We're working on this part of it. And we had the meeting, and I asked the absolute wrong question at this next meeting because I still haven't gotten a clarification.
Right.
I don't know what I'm working with. I don't know the tools that I have, other than I think the state of California went, oh crap, maybe we're not. And at this last meeting, the very first question, the very first thing out of my mouth was to get everything on record. And this was a meeting that was a public hearing, which was about comment and questions, clearly stated in their paperwork or in their invitation and everything else, is it was a time for comment and questions.
Right.
So my very first question was directed towards the gentleman who was supposed to be answering my questions, and I asked him, and right off the bat, I just made it very clear. It is, for the record, the State Water Resource Control Board is proposing to create a dredging permit order. Is this correct?
What'd he say?
Good answer.
What I was met with was, Mr. Hoagland, we're not going. We don't have the arena for answering the questions. If you have other questions, you can state them for the record, and then you can you can put everything in for the comments. So basically, they just, as they did in the first one, shut me down.
They danced around it.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, they didn't even dance around it this time. They just said, yeah, write it all down, send it in the comment. We'll get around to it in the public comment. Mine is not a public comment. The questions I'm asking are not public comments.
Right.
I'm not making a statement saying, what you guys are doing is wrong. And Shannon's not making a statement that says what you guys are doing is just draconian and so on like that. We're not making those statements. We're simply asking the question, how can you do this?
Right.
I can get a permit, or I'm sorry, a letter from the United States Army Corps of Engineers that say that I don't need a permit. I don't need a permit. Okay. But I can't exercise that because now I have to go through and get that through other groups. Well, these are federally managed waters.
Right.
So, that's kind of where things are at right now. And I know that I'm being a little animated about this, but be quite frank with you, I have devoid myself of any emotions on this thing. I absolutely have. When I was having a conversation with an attorney on a separate case that I'm dealing with a BLM agent, the question that was asked me is, how do you feel about this? And I thought about it for a moment. I went, I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything. What has been done is wrong. This is not a question about my feelings. This is a question about what is right and what is wrong. What is the law and what is an interpretation of the law? And quite frankly, this whole other deal that brought all this about was about a young, I'm not going to drag him too far into the bus, but adjudicator that has decided to interpret the Code of Federal Regulations. So when she sent me this paperwork that's saying that she was going to close a claim, it had 3 words added to it. It's a Code of Federal Regulations. It's CFR. It's not open for interpretation. It's open for enforcement. And I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything about that. It's right or it's wrong. And this is wrong.
Oh, it's
And
been years. So.
Yeah. And all these questions that I'm asking, all I want to know is what is right and what is wrong. I'm not interpreting the law. Kevin's not interpreting law. Nobody is interpreting this. We are asking for clarification. are you interpreting the law, or are you making additions to it? Or have you just flat ass decided to ignore it? Okay. We know that states have a right to, you've got the EPA standards, and we know that states have the ability to add to that, but it can't go so far as to take it out of the federal regulations.
Right.
So, Tim, you can wear a black hat. Not a problem. I've got a federal regulation that says you can wear a black hat, but you can't put anything on it. Okay. Well,
I gotta take my "Make America Great Again" off my hat.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, and it gets into those things where this is the law, and it's open for enforcement. It's the law. I don't know of any law, and I don't think that the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court goes in, and this whole thing on this, let's look at the California ban on high capacity magazines, which was basically overturned not overturned,
right.
But yeah, in the state of California. And the Ninth Circuit Court said, you know what? We are very sorry that all of this came on the footsteps of some very horrific things, these mass shootings and things like that, and this ban, but that's not the reason. You can't just say, well, because people got killed,
right,
that you decided that you're going to pass a law that says you can't do this or that. It's not within the federal, it's not within it's not within the law. So it's at this point, it's not about feelings. And I assure everybody that nobody should be sitting there jumping up and down in anything I've said tonight. I don't want anybody to get pissed off or start thinking about it that way. I'm going to ask anybody that's listening to this that feels a little bit of an anger, or like, these sons of and all this other stuff. Don't look at it from that aspect. Look at it, just take all of your emotion out of it and go, you know what? This is wrong.
Yeah. And
this is wrong.
Been wrong.
Yeah.
It's wrong since the beginning.
Yeah. And I've got a web, I've been doing some webcasts that are not live. Again, you guys are my freaking heroes to be able to do this every week. But we're going to take this and we're going to break it down. Well, we actually already have to some extent, but we're going to add some more stuff into it, probably make it 2 or 3 parts. And once that's up, I'll kick it over to you, and I'd love for you to give it a mention.
Yeah.
To where people, because what I'll do is that you'll have the webcast where you can go in and just watch it at your leisure.
Oh, that's cool.
And there'll also be a place where you can download the files to where you can read the questions that we asked the state of California.
Good idea.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
we'll have that. And I would urge everybody that has that, and as everything that Shannon's doing, move forward. Keep supporting everything you have to do. But now we've got another prong. Let's start moving that. And there's other prongs that are starting to come up. And this force du jour, this force of the day that's moving forward and doing this. Will we, by the time it's all said and done, will we have a major win? I don't know if we'll have a major win, but I will say something. I'm going to go backwards a little bit. In one of the meetings that we had in between the 28th and the 5th, that 69 days, 67 days, 69, excuse me. We met with the California water boards again to make some proposals of creating a regulatory organization, an industry organization. And I came out of the gold industry. I came, years ago, I was in the oil and gas industry.
Right.
And the companies that I worked for, at that particular time, it was pretty much, roughshod and do whatever you want. And we organized and we set standards and so on like that. And I'll tell you what, since that point in time, things became so much better. So much better. Well, can we do the same thing in this industry? I believe so. I know that most of us, I'm a fiercely independent person. But if there's an idea of having an industry organization that protects me. That, you know, that I understand that I have to do certain things and, you know, really simplistic things, make sure that I do this, this, and this. And if I don't do this, this, and this, that I've got that, you know, so on like that. I'm not talking about it becoming a union or something like that, but it's, you know, if we organize, we have power. What's the difference between us and really the Sierra Fund or some of these other organizations? I mean, you've got the GPAA with tens and tens of thousands of members, you know, all looking at trying to do this. You've got AMRA with all the support that they get all across the United States, you know, PLP, you know, all these different organizations. But one's here, one's here, one's here, one's here.
Right. Yeah.
And, you know, I said it. Yeah, I said it here on this show a couple of years ago. Until this entire industry does this and moves forward, you know, because you're always going to have people that are almost fighting with each other because they have their particular ideas of what they want to see happen, and then they get, you know, they say something and then makes people question this or question that, and it's simple, it's senseless. You know, one message, 10,000, or actually 1 million voices, one message. That's what it should be.
Pretty much what it right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because we all want the same thing.
Yeah. And believe me, dredging in California in the long run, and I have to tell you, when I watched Izzy Martin's her presentation, she said things about the state of Oregon, the state of Washington, the state of Idaho, that are following some of the things that California has been doing.
Sure.
Well, we all know that. I mean, those things are happening, but you know, how long is it going to be before you start seeing things like TDEC, Tennessee Department of Quality? When's it going to be that TDEC starts to relook at things? Right. When are things like Ohio going to say, okay, you know what, we got hellbenders, we got this, but you know, they're doing this in California. Maybe we should take a look at that. Which I don't, you know, and what amazes me is that one of the state directors for the state of Ohio, he's been working with a lot of people in Ohio where they really want dredgers to come in and do something, create fish habitat.
Right.
Let's create fish habitat in these rivers.
Oh, yeah.
But in California, we kill all the fish when we suction dredge. So it just seems like it's such a racket. That's what it seems like. I mean, they give you guys this water and say, okay, you guys can dredge over here now. There's, you know, but not over here. Have you seen the map? Did Shannon, when Shannon was on, did he show you guys the map?
Yeah, we've seen it. It's
okay.
Like,
dude, I look, I'm really thrilled about being able to dredge up diapers and hypodermic needles in the middle of downtown Fresno. You know, it's like, you know, yeah. What are my options? Let's see, Fresno, and then there's some other places. I'm not going to actually talk about where they are because there's some other things that come into this. But a couple of the other areas that were left open are pretty much desert.
Yeah.
But there's other things about that I'm not even talking about publicly, but
no, it's just like it's just like, how can they even do that or say that? It's like, they think that you're going to be happy with this. It's like, it just seems like it's just such a big scam that they're
Tim, I don't think they care. I really don't think they're, it boils down to ideology and politics.
Right.
I mean, you know, we can talk about what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. And there comes a point in time where, like I said, I don't have a single feeling about this anymore.
Right.
No, I am totally unemotional. I'm totally unfeeling about this. It's right or it's wrong. And if they can't do what's right,
it's wrong.
It's wrong.
Yes. It's definitely wrong. That's goes without saying. Boy,
yeah.
It's wrong.
Yeah.
You got to ask yourself anyway. You know, people say we look at California and this and that. Was California really working right now? I mean, you know,
you know, the fifth largest economy in the United States, or the fifth largest economy in the world, or in the top 10 economies in the world. And You every time you turn around, and Shannon posted some stuff the other day, was just heartbreaking of not little cities, but good sized towns within the gold country where not just COVID, but their windows are being boarded up. Forget some of this stuff was taken pre-COVID, but Amber posted some photos of just looking down a Main Street and just there's nothing there. Nothing there. So it's depressing. And if I want to feel something about it, I feel a lot of sadness and I feel sorrow, but and I do feel that on a personal level, but on the level of moving forward, I have no emotional contact at all. It's freaking wrong. That's it. It's wrong. It's wrong until you prove to me otherwise. And because basically I'm looking at them saying the burden of proof is on you guys. I've got question after question after question that you've refused to answer. And I need clarification before I move forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just want answers.
Yeah. But, really the bottom line is even in the memorandum of agreement, they made it very, very clear within the memorandum of agreement that if there's an issue, then it has to be taken care of at the lowest level. So right now, if everything that I'm working on right now, all I'm doing is just checking off boxes before it gets elevated, before it gets escalated. That's all I'm doing. The memorandum of agreement clearly states that any remedy will be tried at the lowest level, which means the state. The state is the low.
Right.
Get this into your head. The state is the lowest level. It's not the federal government. Federal government's the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
The state is the lowest level, and we have to try to remedy at the state level. I think California is pissed off because they're the lowest level.
Probably are. They take offense to that, Kevin.
So, that's it in a nutshell. Filing claims. Other than that, I'm just filing my claims. 300 and some odd chunks of property this year, and
busy.
Yeah, all the claims we'll have everything done tomorrow or the next day, and then I've got to do all the county recordings and then start doing the final update. So
yeah, we got ours ready to send to the BLM tomorrow.
Yep.
Now
Scott, I want to say something about Arizona BLM. I've talked to some people that have sent their paperwork in already, and I'm going to tell you, if you're sending anything into BLM, don't send it. I don't know if you send your stuff certified, but it makes sure you at least have a delivery receipt. So send your mailer with a delivery receipt. I've already heard of a few issues, and we're not even at that time yet. So at least that somebody there went, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even if they don't, I go to the county. Before I even get the paperwork from the BLM.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the county is where it's at.
Yeah. Hey, you were wrong about the rain, by the way.
What?
We just had I couldn't even hear you guys talking out here. It was so loud.
Really?
Oh yeah, we got the truckers. I was on the CB. I went up to the exit to see if I could see the fire, and the trucker said that it's past my exit. They seen it coming up, but they said the rain already put it out. And by the time I turned around, I got a free truck wash.
Nice. Well, and this room, my studio is almost completely soundproofed, and I saw the lights flicker. So maybe something happened when we take a break. If I don't come back, it's because I'm laying out in the front yard getting rained on.
Well, they said one of the main red parts went over Whitman.
Really? Well, see, figures. It sucks. I moved out of Whitman and then to Wickenburg. So.
And it rained. Well, we can take a quick break right now then.
All right, I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go see what it looks like.
Oh, all right, we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be right back, everybody.
Do you like to mine for gold? Enjoy prospecting a nice crack in the bedrock? Enjoy getting outdoors to camp, fish, hunt, and hike on your public lands? You plan your trip, load the gear, grab the dog, put the family in the truck, and drive off to a locked gate. A sign says you cannot enter or access your own public lands. Mining claims and public land owned by we the people are being designated as off limits by our own government every single day. Are you concerned about the direction our government is going? Are you tired of seeing no access, no entry signs on your lands? We are, and we are fighting back. We are AMRA, America Mining Rights Association, the fastest growing small mining advocacy association in America. AMRA is a 501c3 not-for-profit formed by miners, hunters, off-roaders, retired military men and women to stop the insanity. AMRA was formed to educate, unite, and help the small miners and public land users on their rights given to us by God. Do you want access to great mining claims? For a small tax-deductible donation to their Miners Legal Fund, your family gains access to proven excellent mining claims across America for an entire year. AMRA challenges the USFS, BLM, EPA, and the other agencies intent upon stopping you from enjoying your own lands. You are who pays these people's wages. It is time they listen to us. We need to unite. And that is what AMRA is doing. As you sit here right now, thousands of acres of public lands are being closed, locked, and blocked from use by you. Are you fed up yet? Join us. Get in on this fight and let's restore America to what our families fought and died for. Freedom. Just visit AmericanMiningRights.com. AmericanMiningRights.com. Also, check us out on Facebook at American Mining Rights Association. AmericanMiningRights.com.
In 1858, gold was discovered in the rivers of New Caledonia. This discovery would spark a massive gold rush. Today, the search for gold is much easier, yet still challenging with Dirt Hog Pay Dirt. At Dirt Hog, we pride ourselves on our gold and guaranteed gold amounts. Just visit dirthogpaydirt.com today and buy yourself a bag of the best pay dirt concentrates on the market. Order with confidence in Canada and North America. dirthogpaydirt.com, the best gold concentrates on the market, period. Also, be sure to check out our Honest Bonus program.
More interested in gold prospecting or treasure hunting as a career, hobby, passion, or just something you're interested in getting into, you have to visit goldprospectorspace.com. At goldprospectorspace.com, you'll find forums, chats, videos, blogs, sections on dry washing, metal detecting, high banking, and so much more. At goldprospectorspace.com. There's a store, classifieds, and at goldprospectorspace.com every Sunday night at 7:30 Eastern Time, tune in to Prospectors Radio, the talk show for gold prospectors and treasure hunters. GoldProspectorspace.com is a social network with thousands of members, and everything you need is at GoldProspectorspace.com. Sign up today and get connected to others who share your love of gold and gold prospecting. Let the treasure hunt begin at GoldProspectorspace.com. GoldProspectorspace.com.
All right, everybody, we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
All here again.
You weren't waiting on me, were you?
No.
Okay, good.
Commercial.
My back, I can't find my backyard. It hasn't rained a drop, but I'm missing 2 Adirondack chairs, a floor mat, and a lid off of one of my little Weber kettles.
Wow.
So
That's not good.
I'm sure they're in my neighbor's backyard or they're somewhere. Oh God, it scares me whenever Dennis sends me a picture.
Oh God.
Hey, at least you did get a face full of dirt and hay and cut grass and whatever else flew out of this yard.
Stuff, Scott.
What's that?
That was good stuff.
That was brutal.
They're hard to find too.
We just bought a doggy pool, well, a kiddie pool for like $7 at Walmart. They're cheap as heck.
Uh-huh.
And we thought we could use it for the dog. That's that blue thing I grabbed. Because I knew if I did get it, I was going to be chasing it for a mile.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get the dog yet?
Yeah, I got him.
Oh, you did?
Dog wasn't outside.
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me see if I can. Ringo, where you at, Turkey?
This is
Here he is.
Scott's.
He's still inspecting everything.
Where's he at? Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Say hi, Ringos. Say hi, Ringos. Say hi.
Dennis, where you at?
I like that dog.
He's pretty cool. And I'll tell you what, we've had him for one day and he's already hit that intelligence factor very well.
That's cool. Awesome. Kevin, don't forget to have a question for Scott's Jeopardy. Remember?
Oh, you know what? I do. I got to bring it up real quick, but yeah. But Scott, you said you read something when at the last week. Last week you said you'd read something. You had a question about it, and I didn't know what that was. You said you'd ask this week.
Dang it. I can't even remember now.
Okay. Hey, I like what you've been. I got to tell you, I like what you've been doing about the sampling and so on. And I kind of laugh because, you know, I write a lot of stuff for the magazine, and I had written this huge article about getting on the gold and making it dollars per yard instead of specks in a pan.
Right.
And about finding your trend and following the trend, and once you find your trend, working off to the outsides, and then find where that material goes away. And I wrote that like 2.5-3 months ago, because we're always that far ahead on the magazine. And then you started talking about it. It was great.
I'm glad you liked it, because I tell you what, it worked. And I made that video and showed everybody where I was going to be testing at. And the third place I went where that big red wall was with all the river rock still in it, that is virgin for another 200 to 300 feet or yards to the left of my claim. I told Lisa, and it's about 9 foot to 10 foot deep. I told her, I said, I think I got about 6 years of digging down here by hand.
Oh yeah.
Nice. See?
Okay, I have my trivia question now.
Trivia question for Scott.
I have the trivia question.
You got the music geared up?
Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm ready.
We're gonna do it now?
Oh, we can do it now if you want it.
Oh, yeah, we'll do it now or later.
It's up to you guys. We can do it in a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, you can always have a second question in there, Kevin, you know.
Yeah, right.
Oh, dude, don't make me work for two. Come on.
Kevin, is there any word on any gold shows?
No, not yet. Unfortunately, the venues, it's not, and I think I said this on last time, or I keep saying this. It's not us. I mean, we're ready. We're ready to start putting everything together. The facility that we were going to have in Sacramento actually closed their doors. They're gone.
Oh, geez.
So if we were to take the 2020 series, the 2020 gold shows, and just pick everything up and say, okay, we're going to do it in 2021. We'd have to find a new place in Sacramento or somewhere around that area to be able to do something. And then a lot of the facilities, especially back east with you guys, a lot of those facilities are not actually taking bookings,
right?
Or they're reserving space. And I think, and I believe that Amber has actually got us reserved in some of those spaces. But they're not even accepting money. They're not taking anything, because it's like, okay, if this happens, we'll go ahead and do something. But
So
I got an idea. How about we just bring it back to the old South Point Casino in Vegas?
Well, how do I say this and be nice?
have to. You'll have to be nice.
Well, and quite frankly, I mean, look, the GPA gold shows, we don't do those for us to make money at the door or, anything like that. But as it is right now, the way that, and maybe 2021 will be a completely different thing, because there's a whole lot of people hurting. But as it was last year and over the last couple of years, the prices have gone so high and so high and so high that just a break even point, what a vendor was spending $200 or $300 for a corner or for just a little booth would have been tripled or quadrupled just to pay the bill.
See, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I would love to think about going back down the state line. And I made a remark about that, not at South Point, but down, you know, down at the California Nevada border, down there. What was it? Sam's, I believe, where we had gold shows for years and years and years. And I used to love going there. Um, even that place was just, you know, the pricing is just so ridiculous. And
Imagine. It's
so,
crazy, especially at them places. They have to be.
yeah.
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 Yeah, I
But-
liked it when it was Vegas. That was the first time I was ever at Vegas, and I had a ball that gold show weekend.
Dude, I got to tell you, man, there's been a couple of Vegas gold shows I just didn't remember. So, you know,
Hey, you never know. You might be able to get a venue there pretty cheap because, I mean, now just my buddy Raymond just left him and his mom, and they flew to Vegas, and five days there. Now I don't know if it's going to be, you know, different, you know, renting a building,
right.
$400 round trip
yeah.
for both of them, 400
Yeah.
total.
I mean, it might be something that would that, and I know that it's been kind of tossed up, and it might be something that we look, you know, that, well, I can tell you this absolutely going to be something that we look at, but still, even Vegas right now, I mean, there's not a lot happening. There's, you know, I've got a friend of mine that worked for a casino, and when things were really getting up to the height, and I haven't been there, so I'm speaking from him.
Right.
There's times where it's just basically a ghost town.
Wow.
Yeah, he said
And
they're hurting for money,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they're letting stuff go pretty cheap right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure that I could get a penthouse over at the South Point for pretty good money right now if I but yeah. It's 125 degrees there right now, so I don't really care about that anyway. So,
Right.
yeah.
Oh, Jesus God.
Let's see what else is going on. All sorts of stuff coming out of the GPAA. I mean,
Jealous.
we are, yeah. I mean, we've got all. We've been running a lot of specials. I think everybody knows that we had a price increase. We hadn't had a price increase in membership since, I don't know, almost 30 years, 25. I don't remember what it was. It's been it's been a long time, and so we've restructured some of that. But everybody that's a member, and this is where everybody started freaking out. But everybody that's a member now will always stay in at their original prices as long as they don't like drop and then try to come back. But it was, you know, it was a kind of a decent price increase, but it hasn't slowed anything down. You know, $2,000 an ounce, and this happened long before gold was climbing like that. But $2,000 an ounce, I got to tell you, I spend a huge amount of time on the phone talking to members now about how do I do this and can I do this, and you know, I'm brand new. I've never prospected before. It's something I've always wanted to do, but quite frankly, at $2,000 an ounce, it makes it really worthwhile.
Now, have you seen memberships go up since the gold prices hit over 2,000?
Well, no, actually, we had raised the membership prices long before that,
Right.
and then, you know, and quite like I said, people coming into it. Oh, I'm sorry. Has membership come up? Yeah.
Has
Oh
the-
yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
price.
There's been a. I'm not going to say it went from here to here,
Right.
but it's been a good incremental increase.
That's good.
And yeah, it is. And for the industry, for the prospecting industry, I'm not talking about big mining. This is going to be something that's going to continue to go long term.
Okay.
You know, and if we break it down, and this is what I'm seeing, and this is what I'm feeling as far as that's concerned. Look, coronavirus has been horrible. It's been deadly. It's devastated economies all around the world. It's done a whole lot of things, but it also made a whole lot of people. And let's just take the United States. It's made a lot of people wake up to what they were doing and how they were spending their life and what they were doing. And there's a lot more people now that are saying, you know what? I'm going outside. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to find things that I can do that myself and my family can go out and we can do as a family that doesn't include going to the mall and being around a whole lot of other people are doing this or doing that. And I've got a buddy of mine that works at an ATV dealer. ATV sales right now are at they're for some of these places, they are incredible. I mean,
Yeah,
they've been. So, you know,
that's for sure.
Yeah, and those are people that are like us that are suddenly realizing that their inner us is out there and they want to be a part of this, and they're starting to get out. And so many new people. I mean, I love, you know, Scott, you know, your Facebook post and the things that you've been talking about, the things that I've been writing about, things that everybody's been doing. You know, it's we're helping so many new people coming into this that, yeah, it's just creating that little bit of a whirlwind. And some of those guys that have been on the fringe for the last 4 or 5 years are getting pulled into this, and they're enjoying it. And,
Yeah.
and the more that we can be there and help and teach and be available to these people to make sure that when this is all settled down, that this is something that they still want to continue to do. That's all of our parts. That's not, and I'm not saying just as a GPAA, I'm saying that as all of us that are in prospecting, the thing that gives us strength and the thing that gives us power is more people.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm grandfathered in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You're grandfathered in.
I got the lifetime member.
Yeah, baby. I saw that hat.
Is that Scott talking or Manny talking with that hat on?
Oh,
Manny.
God. Can we leave Manny out of this?
Manny blew away in a hurricane.
Manny just creeps me out. Yeah, you know what? You got the lifetime hat, and I got a hat that I know a lot of people to probably give a lot to have.
Okay, let's see the hat you got. That's okay.
Phelps Dodge, baby. Yeah. Gone. The dodo.
Oh, Lordy.
So
Craziness, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Scott, why'd you put your fancy hat on?
Huh?
Why'd you put your fancy hat on?
Because I found it.
It blew back into the yard during the wind.
No, it was actually on the chair over there. And when I found it, it was underneath this chair I'm sitting in. I was wondering where that went.
Why's your hat on the chair?
Oh.
That hat should have been on Manny.
No,
No,
dude.
You need to put that picture of Manny in the background.
Your Manny up.
I'm on my phone.
I will draw a line on disparaging the good name of the GPAA lifetime membership by that creepy bastard Manny.
We already got the picture of him wearing that hat.
Oh God, that hurts. That just. Oh,
it's the only hat I had.
See?
Dude, I'll buy you a new hat. I'll even deliver it to you.
Hey, Dennis. Look
Yeah.
Look at Scott. Now, aren't him and Manny starting to resemble each other?
It does. That's why I said, is that Manny talking or Scott talking?
Swear to God, they're
Wearing that hat.
brothers.
I'm telling
This is a hat I've been wearing. I wear this hat every day.
That was amazing. How when you ordered Manny, how it looked just like him was. I laughed till I cried for a couple days.
It keeps looking
Dude,
more like
Manny looks more like Tim than anybody.
Oh no.
Okay, hold on. I missed something here.
What?
He actually ordered Manny. He bought
No,
Manny.
Tim did.
The site
For you.
The site.
Well, the site did. People donated
Yeah.
and had it ordered, and they want Manny in some of his videos. They invested money.
Look at that's right.
In this, and Scott has let us down. Manny wasn't cheap.
No, man, and the funny thing about it is how much Manny looks just like him.
He does, and that wasn't even.
It really does. I mean, it's freaky.
My girlfriend.
I agree. It is freaky, and that's part of what really bothers me about Manny.
I don't.
You know, I don't like clowns. I really don't have this. I'm not a big clown fan, and I don't like watching Chucky movies. Not because they're just stupid to me, but Manny just gives me the creeps.
Well, Manny's got his own thing going.
I'm gonna put him, Kevin. I'm gonna put him down on. I'm gonna put him in a chair down on the claim. That way, if anybody rides by, they think somebody's sitting there watching them.
Don't think somebody's camp.
Oh, that's
Set up
yeah,
a tent. Put him out
yeah.
there.
That's the way to go. Try it. Sorry, guys, trying to fix my chair. It's not working. I'll just fall backwards.
Scott, you should have had Manny there with you tonight. I'm just saying.
If Manny was here tonight, he'd be in the back 40.
Oh, he's too heavy to blow away.
Did you see what just went through here?
Yeah, I seen a little.
No, we didn't see. You didn't turn your camera the right way.
You were
I was
like,
trying to get stuff out of my face.
Yeah, you're going.
it's windy.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, I hear you.
I live in the desert. I got dust in my eyes.
That wasn't dust. You couldn't see the neighbor's house. That's why.
Oh.
That's why I grabbed that dog pool so quick, because the house up on the hill disappeared.
What am I gonna do with you, Scott?
Guy gets wrapped up in a dust devil and he just falls apart. I mean, what? The-
Hey, buddy, I'll tell you what. That was not. That was a dust devil. No. No.
Scott,
You know what?
you're from Indiana. You remember what a tornado is.
Yeah, but listen, you guys got to understand. It was 100 and like freaking what? 110, 112, and now it's like 86, and
Yeah.
it dropped like that.
Awesome.
Well, it went from like 99 or 103 the other day in Payson to 64.
Cool.
That's always nice. Big drop.
Yeah.
All right. I think we need some Scott Jeopardy. Now, Scott, you wait for your music. Start thinking. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's the question. In 1955, a world leader in mining equipment opened their doors. Who was it?
Answer is
And
Now wait a minute. Say that again.
oh my God.
I think I got it, but I just want to hear it so I can specifically know.
In 1955, a world leader in mining equipment opened their doors. What is the name of that company?
Well, you said mining equipment. I'd have to say 55. Would it be Keen?
Wow, you got it. Way to go.
All right.
Yeah. Keen Engineering.
I'm
Keen
sorry.
Engineering opened
The
their doors
answer
in
must
19.
be in the form of a question.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You lost.
Who is in engineering?
It should be who is Keen?
Who is the Keen? Who is the Keen family?
We'll get you,
You-
Jeopardy savvy.
You know what's really funny? You know what's really funny is because how I got that. I remember we had Pat Keen on talking, and he said, because I told him something about it. I got a 25-year-old sluice box, the first piece of equipment I ever got. And he's like, yeah, back in 19, and I remember, and I thought he said in the 50s. And then when you said mining equipment, I was thinking, well, that would have to be Keen, because we just heard it not too long ago because Pat was telling us about it.
Uh-huh.
That's where I remembered it from.
I remembered it right when Kevin said it. I was thinking,
Hey, you hear that?
what?
I got to come up with better stuff.
There goes Channel 10 helicopter over the top of us.
Okay.
Black Canyon's
Yeah.
gonna be on the news, baby. I'm telling you, it hit hard.
It's
You mean for something other than drug bust? Wow.
it's probably
Come on, that was 15 years ago when that stuff was going on.
hey, they probably got that footage of Scott running around with sand in his eyes.
Yeah.
I got sand in my eyes.
You ought to seen Lisa when she opened the door. It blasted her. I mean, I'm serious. We had two computers sitting on a table. We got a table sitting there. My drink was filled with stuff, and there was it's dead straw or hay or grass, dead grass and dirt all over the front room and the carpet everywhere. She just looked at me and shook her head. She's like, really?
You live in the desert.
Well, she goes, well, she's seen it, starting to blow. But right when she opened the door is when it hit. She goes, I didn't even see that one coming, or I wouldn't even open the door.
Oh, she shouldn't have. She should have left you out on the porch.
Well, if that's the case, then that pool would have been gone.
I like that. I wish I could take that clip and pull it off of here. Just to,
Oh, trust me.
I hope you
Tim,
can.
since you said that, somebody will. Trust me.
I hope that somebody listening can pull that clip of Scott
They
doing
put some type of music with it, something
put
funny,
some kind of music.
like
with
a Benny Hill theme, you know.
Oh, that would work.
I wish you guys, I had my GoPro pointed that way when I was looking at what I was seeing coming.
No, I enjoyed looking at you.
Oh, it was priceless.
And it's always nice that you guys like the old dismay of Swiftwater.
Yes,
It was very entertaining.
it was. It really
Hey, Kevin, what's that one term? Oh, yeah, kick him when he's down. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I would try to. I would love to have a lot of sympathy for you, but dude, you're hanging out with Manny, so there's just nothing I can do.
Manny, you want to know, Benny's in the back bedroom laying in a bed. If you walked in
Oh,
there,
I don't want to hear that.
People out.
I do not want to hear where Manny is laying down. That's just weird.
It's the only place I have to store him.
Manny's got his own room. He's got a sign on the door that says "Keep up, Scott."
Right.
Stand him up in a closet or something, dude. That's just scary.
I still got to fix his arms.
Manny's. I can't help it.
I'll get him in a couple videos of just a touch. He's not going to be saying nothing, but I'll pan around him.
Oh,
Or maybe, Kevin, just maybe, he could be the one that gets caught in that landslide.
there we go. There we go. Hey,
We'll go, this is the reason you don't undermine 9-foot walls. Oof.
Oh,
Be like a
it's not even good.
dummy. Yeah. See? That's
Okay, I got another question for him that he won't be able to look. Well, he might be able to look up, but might be.
I'm not looking anything up.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on his phone. He can't.
So, when it's time for another one, I'll hit him with the last one of the night.
Hit him with one more now.
Oh, okay. All right.
You guys.
Let me see how to phrase this as a.
Remember, Scott, you got to answer in the form of a question.
Correct. I'll take Scottisms for 500, Alex. Answer is
As the crows flies.
beep boop 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 beep. That's some pretty.
In the last 20 years, gold averaged $300 an ounce. In what year? Scott, do you have an answer?
I'm going to say the year is 1992.
Since the year 2000.
Oh,
20 years, Scott.
In the last
I didn't
20
think
years.
gold. Well, if the last 20 years, $300 an ounce, I thought that was before the 2000s. But if I was going to make a guess, I've been out here 15. Take that off because I'd say 2001.
Is that your answer, Scott? 2001?
The year is 2001. What is 2001? Yeah.
What is 2001?
Yeah.
The boy's not bad, guys. He's not bad.
Is he on?
He got it.
All right.
He got it.
Scott.
But of course,
11, buddy.
Of course, we gave him an incredible amount of time to
Right.
work that through in his head. And
Well, believe it or not, last time I heard it 300 an ounce was 1998.
Oh,
yeah.
There's a foot Trebek.
Yeah, gold between gold in 2001 all the way up to gold hit above $400 an ounce until 2004.
I was going to say it's got to be 4 because I come out here at what 6 or 7, and it was already 17 by then.
Yeah, I remember it was that I started prospecting in 2003 is when I started. And that's what it was.
How much was it then? 4, 5?
Me?
Yeah.
It was right around 300.
Wow. Ain't that crazy? And
I would have said I was going to answer 2003.
look at it now.
Well, when it was at 300 an ounce, that's when everybody was just doing it for a hobby.
Right.
No. I was doing it for a living, brother.
Oh, wow. See?
At 300 an ounce?
300 an ounce.
I mean, you got to think about the year. There's a lot of money.
Yeah, because it jumped up, and that's what sparked me to get into it.
And it went crazy.
Yeah. I was hard rocking at 300. I was hard rocking at $300 an ounce.
That was good money back then.
Yeah. And I walked away from one of my projects saying, this thing would be profitable if gold ever got to about 2,200, or if gold ever hit $1,000 an ounce, it would be break even. If it ever made it to 1,900 and would stabilize there, this could be a profitable hard rock mine.
Wow.
It's there.
It's there.
And damn it, I lost the property.
Yeah, I remember when I come out here, I said if it reaches 12, and that's when I started to leave. And then by the time I got here, it hit 15. And then the next 2 weeks, it hit, I think the highest I seen it was 1798, and it dropped back down to roughly between the 13 and the 15 area. And it rode there for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I just pulled up the 20-year gold, wanted to look at that. And, I think about things when we look at things in the last year. See, right now, a gram of gold is $63.
That is awesome.
And, yeah, $63.
Hey, by the way, Kevin.
Right yeah.
I know you probably don't have the rest of the gold or the metal prices, but what's gold price today?
I have no idea. Let me tell you. Let me share with you. Gold right now is 1935.97.
35. That's still good money.
Well, it took a big drop took a big drop like last week, but it's still staying around that 1900. That's still good.
Right. Gold right now is 1935.97, down $8.62 for a negative 0.44% drop. Silver is sitting at 26.03, down 45 cents for a negative 1.70% drop. And this is not the regular site that I go to, so I'm not gonna sit here and try to get into all their other stuff. Hold on, let's see. Bitcoin, this will be a good one. Bitcoin right now is currently 1935.97.
Yeah.
$1,935.97. Down $8.82, $8.62. So for the same drop. Oh, and it just dropped down it just went up 1936. Wow. See the influence we have. We start talking about Bitcoin and it just went up 11 cents.
And rhodium.
We are the masters right here.
And our favorite rhodium is at 11,200 an ounce.
Well, I had a buddy do a test. You guys know Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin, I'm going to show you this, and you might recognize.
You can't see it yet. Okay.
I don't see it.
You don't see it yet?
No. Say something, Dennis, so the microphone. Say something, Dennis, so it comes
I'm going
back
to
to you.
say something. and then maybe it'll shine right on this.
Is it on
See
gallery?
the
No, it's on speaker view.
where they did a
chemical
a
extraction.
test. Can you see it now, Kevin? You
Yeah, I
got-
can.
Okay. They did a test, and whatever DMG dropped for palladium, this is just a test, but there is more there. And of course, he said pretty yellow powder, but he says you have more platinum group metals at the pit than you know about. Lots of rhodium in it as well.
Okay.
Interesting.
I honestly, I'm not surprised. I mean, there's look, I almost went broke chasing platinum group metals a long time ago.
Mhm.
I'm not a big guy to chase them. If I run across them and I know them and I see them, which I recognize them, I'll kind of put them off to the side until I've got enough to make it worthwhile. But you know, if you're getting into the sisters, dude, there's places out there that, believe me, they are going to be richer than the gold. And it's just a given. It's the nature of our planet.
What does rhodium look like, Kevin?
The rhodium, I had a, you know what? I just actually had a sample of some
Don't it
rhodium
look
not too
like
long ago.
I was gonna say, don't it? It's kind of like it just looks like a crappy rock.
It looks like, well, some of it does look like a crappy rock, but there's also some that has crystalline and cleavage. There was, and I actually was working with a guy the other day that was convinced that he had rhodium, and it was actually galena. Yeah. But hey, you know, you got to learn somewhere. But you know, rhodium, I've seen rhodium in just a really nice nugget form where it's just beautiful and just this kind of it's, you know how platinum has that like gunmetal gray to it. Rhodium's a little bit more rich. It has more of that richer look, kind of a little bit darker, kind of a little bit of a darker hue, the stuff that I've seen. And then when it's in the form of cleavage, you've all seen shale, and think about shale. It's just, you know, if you think about the layering and how that cleavage is and different things like that, I've seen a beautiful sample that I first I didn't even realize it was rhodium, and then until I read the paperwork on it, and it was just this beautiful chunk that had almost like layered cleavage, but when you looked at it, you realized it was more cubic than cleavage areas.
Mhm.
So I just a gorgeous piece. So
You know
yeah, go ahead.
You know what's really odd is because like you take the state of Kentucky. Now, state of Kentucky has virtually no gold in it,
Right.
but the whole state down south, like all the lakes, everything around it is it's shale. Like it's hard to rock on, and nobody ever finds anything in that. And I always wondered why, because it's like almost all the bottom of Kentucky is all just tons of shale.
Yeah, but a lot of that is oil shale, isn't it?
Well, see, they have found oil down there, but it's not. I wouldn't call it a big thing.
Well, no. Oil shale. Oil shale is different than having deposited. Boy, we're gonna get back into oh God, here we go. Oil shale is different. Oil shale is different than like deposited oil. It's not like the Mississippian, or you've got the Permian Basin and the Mississippian sands and so on like that, to where you have these actual deposits. You have oil shale, that a lot of that was created by just some of these pockets or some of these areas where that material had drawn in.
All right.
Basically, may have even drawn in the entire deposit. But you know, you've seen oil, and I'm not sure about Kentucky, because I thought Kentucky did have a lot of oil shale, but I don't know. I don't know if there's somebody out there from Kentucky that can answer that. I'd love to hear that, because
well, I mean, like Dale Hollow Lake, which is half Kentucky, half Tennessee. You got
Right.
Lake Cumberland. You know, all the banks are just shale. Like you could it's like stacked in like a deck of cards. It's
Right.
it's craziest stuff you ever seen.
Okay, is it shale? Okay, so it's mudstone. Are we talking about shale like a mica shale? A shale like like the oil shale, or are we talking about just schist and is it schisty, where it's
Well,
more of a mudstone?
it could be more schisty, like, because when you pull it up, it comes out in like a plate,
Right.
and every piece will be about the same size.
Okay. And there's just nothing in it. There's no mudstone that it actually brought anything up from the depths of hell and everything.
Yeah,
else.
no. It's just it looks like folded. It just looks like folded cards turned up, and it's been laid in a line all the way down the whole thing.
Yeah.
I've never found anything. Like I said, I've lived in Kentucky for quite some time back when I was younger, and I prospected a lot of the creeks, found some garnets, but never found any gold, never found anything worth too much,
Right.
What's
It happens.
what is schisty? Explain.
It's a mudstone. It's when you see these what we call schist belts. Schist, schist.
Okay, all right, here we go.
Schist, schist belts. When we see these schist belts, the schist is the schist. All of those things are actually classified as like a mudstone, to where that material comes up. And when you start finding gold in these areas where you've had a lot of the chemical and the pressure reactions and so on like that, hydrothermal, epithermal, whatever you want to throw at it. But when you have these areas where you've had these schist deposits where it's come up in between the cracks, and it's basically a mud, and then it cools and it becomes very hard. I have found some beautiful nuggets that were pulled up and then cooled rather quickly, and just a lot of them I pulled out have looked like they've traveled a long way. And I will find it, and next time I'm on, remind me and make sure that I've got it. But I've got a piece that when I was working south of where I am, well, south of Prescott, not quite to where I am now, but there was a schist belt that I was working. I got this incredible signal, started digging down on it because I thought it was going to be in this little quartz vein that was attached to it, and pulled the quartz out, and I wasn't getting anything. And then I pulled some schist out and I threw it off to the side, and everything went away. And I went back to it and I started hitting it with the detector, and there was a good signal. Now, the way that schist is, when you start to break it off, it just breaks off like pulling cards. In some cases, it just, and I broke it. I broke this one section open, and there's this beautiful nugget sitting right in between them. And I reached in and I pulled it out, and I've still got the pieces. I took those pieces home with me and put them in resin. So you can see where the front of the nugget and the back of the nugget, and those are bookends, and you can put them in. And if it wasn't for the fact that I filled them full of resin, you could set the gold nugget back in it and close it back up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
And you know what? I guess I have found one thing in schist. I guess it's or not schist, but the type of rock we're talking about. You can find fossils.
Absolutely, during the mountain building process, because you remember a lot of that stuff was underneath the ocean, and you get into Nevada, you get into the Sierra Nevadas and onto the Carlin and things like that. You start finding those fossilized areas in some of those schist belts and the schist and shale. I've seen Oklahoma had shell encased shale encrusted fossils.
Huh.
And I remember seeing those when I was a kid, when I got drugged to Oklahoma against my will.
Those are pretty cool though, when you could chip open and you have that layer come out and you can just see a whole fossil.
Yeah, it is. And I've been working on the pay to digs for the online mining guide, the when we put in all these pay to digs, and I've been talking to a lot of these the fossil businesses, and just having people show me, send me some pictures, let me see. And it's amazing that some of these places, like up in Colorado, and then let's see, where was it? Utah? Yeah, in Utah and Nevada, where there's this one place they were showing me these slabs that they pulled out, and the fossils were incredible. I mean, just
now Utah's big for dinosaurs, ain't they?
Yeah. So
yeah,
and so was Colorado. I mean, there's a little town in Colorado called Dinosaur, Colorado, and it's aptly named.
Huh.
So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Channel 10 again.
Shit's in jail.
One thing we forgot
What?
down there was were we gonna hit birthdays?
You can have birthdays. Do you want to sing?
Yeah, I can sing.
Go ahead and sing. Rich,
Yeah,
you got
who's gonna do the birthdays?
Rich,
Yep.
All right. You
All
guys
right.
ready?
I'm born ready.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Just had to do it, didn't he?
And many more.
Kind of threw up my mouth a little bit.
All right. We got August 16th, 2020, and the following birthdays are Derek Fry, Frank H., Greg B., Greg Dorn, Jerry Bond, Caleb Wildman, Larry Pelvick, Scott White. Birthdays tomorrow: Chad Ferris, Craig Stone, Daniel, Dave Lanier, Edward Hanson, Glenn E. MC. We have a gold prospector. We have John Gear, Joshua Ramsey, Mike Gleason, Noel D. Chowders, and Randy Knoll.
Well, happy
Happy birthday.
Happy day, happy day. Who is the? I'll tell you what. Highlight Caleb the Wild Man.
Caleb. Oh, Caleb.
Already on it.
You remember Caleb Rich, don't you?
Yeah.
Remember? Oh, Caleb.
Caleb Wildman?
That was
Yeah.
it.
Bennington.
No, Caleb Wildman, the kid that used to call us every week.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I do remember him now. Type of prospecting do you do? Metal detecting. Do you belong to any clubs? No. How do you find the site? My friend. Who referred you to the site? Klondike, Kent.
Mhm.
Kind of equipment do you use? Metal detector.
Hey, is Caleb the guy that runs around with his dad and they do some YouTube videos and stuff like that? Is that the same one?
No.
No, I don't think this was a kid that didn't have anybody to take him out prospecting, I believe, if I remember
Oh.
correctly.
Oh,
He was a good kid. He used to call us every show. He'd call. Yeah.
I think it was 2013. He's been a member since.
Yeah. His question was, what's the biggest nugget you ever found?
oh,
Every guest he'd call.
Man.
Every guest we had on.
What's the
I'll
biggest?
tell you what, Kevin, if you had a nickel for every time you heard that question.
oh,
I'd
yeah.
have.
Okay. Top 3 questions. What's the biggest piece of gold I ever found?
Huh?
How deep does a detector go? You know, those are the standard ones. If I had a penny for any of those, I'd be really well off.
Hey, my best ones. Where do you find gold? I'm like, well, in the ground. Where else do you
Yeah.
find it?
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Then shit's in jail.
And I didn't mean to make a guy really upset one day, but he was talking about his he had done a video on metal detecting, and I wasn't trying to upset this guy, but I made the remark about because everything he was doing was air testing.
Uh-huh.
And I just popped off and said, you know what, dude, I appreciate what you're doing, but until the day that I find the gold nugget floating 4 feet off the ground, I really don't care about what I really don't care about what your air tests are. They're not real. They're not real. Needless to say, I did not make a friend that day. I really didn't. But
I said nugget 4 feet off the ground.
yeah. Well,
I've not seen one yet either.
no, I haven't. I've thrown one out of a hole about 4 feet up in the air.
Well, you know, Kevin, I guess if you were a big company, you're flying around in a helicopter with that big metal detector off the bottom of it, that could be air testing.
kind of similar.
Still
Look
looking
at
in the
it like,
ground.
no.
You're still looking in the ground. Oh, yeah. There are times when it comes down to detecting. I am not the oh God, what was his name? Win friends and influence people. Yeah, the author. There's a Jeopardy question. Well, none of us will get it. Zig Ziglar. How to win? Was it Zig? I don't remember. But yeah, I've gotten into some conversations on metal detecting over the years where I definitely, at the end of the conversation, had not won friends or influenced anybody.
Hey, I've got a good question for you.
Sure.
Have you found really good chispa pieces, and do you still have them on display at your house?
Shista. We're back to Shista again.
No, chispa.
I thought you said Shista.
No, chispa.
Chispa. Shista. There is some.
Wow.
Chispa.
Yep.
Wow.
Red chispa.
Well, that's red as blood. Wow.
Yep. But you know what? There's actually a little bit more to this too, because when I did and I don't open this up anymore because it's also Cinnabar.
Brittle.
It's also
Cinnabar. Cinnabar.
Cinnabar.
Very, very fragile.
Oh.
Cinnabar.
Oh. Okay.
What is Cinnabar the host of?
Okay.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't remember to study for this test.
Let me see if I can get really, really tight. I don't think I'm going to be able to.
Hey, give it a minute to phone.
No.
No.
Back out and then move in.
I never heard of the box. I don't know.
There you go.
It was there. Go back a spinch. Right there. There.
That's close.
You know what? I'll take a picture of it.
Is it the same thing as like they call it California orange juice?
No. Cinnabar.
Okay. Then I'm lost on it.
Cinnabar is a host metal of mercury.
Oh.
Or the
really?
the host stone of mercury.
Dang it, Ray.
I would not have got that. I would not have got that.
Thank you, Ray. Vandal said Mercury too. I was going to shout it out and didn't.
Yeah, I had no clue what it was.
I didn't either. Right now,
I mean, you know,
I thought that's something you get at the mall with coffee.
well, see, and that's the biggest problem about all of this crap on all of these other things. There are areas in the state of California where Cinnabar is natural in the ground, been there for the beginning of time. And guess what? It pukes out mercury every now and then. Oh, well, you know. Okay. Now, I don't want to talk about that anymore.
All right.
That's pretty cool.
Where are we going? I mean, I love this. You know what? I love this show. We never know where it's going to go, do we?
No.
It went from schist to shale to Cinnabuns and
Cinnabar.
To a dust storm, to a
Dusty.
The Manny has his own bed.
Right.
I can't wait to go back and rewatch the beginning of this.
I know. I'm good.
I'm gonna be definitely rewatching the beginning of it.
Me too.
Oh.
Well, I can honestly say I wished it was one of you guys in the East Coast that got that, not here.
Funny.
He had it early. It came through. Then it got nice again. But yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Don't forget though, Tuesday night hangouts with Ed Jessiano and Treasure Fixins. This Tuesday, they have YouTuber Steph Diggs is going to be joining them. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on their Tuesday night hangouts over there on YouTube. What, Scott?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought you said something. I thought you.
No, that was that big. That was that big wind gusting through his place right there. Just brought his camera back up.
Right.
Kevin, thank you for coming and hanging out with us.
Oh, anytime, guys. I truly You know, there's three or four of you guys that I anytime you ask, I'll be there. And three of let's see, well, okay, five, no, four of you. Okay, yeah, all four of you are there. Never mind.
A lot of laughs, a lot of education. We learn a lot. It's just great, man. You know, we appreciate it, and we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And don't forget to be back Wednesday for West Coast Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll be here, and hope you guys can make
Good night, everyone.
Yeah. Till then, Scott.
Good night, gold diggers.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Be sure to tune in next Sunday at 7:30 for another great show. For updates and more info, please go to www.prospectorsradio.com.
Scott.
Claire.